A very good evening to all of you. I'm Juhi Rajput and you're watching Power News. In this special episode of Power News program, we'll bring you an exclusive coverage on the flagship event of WEC-IMC, India Energy Congress 2012, Emerging Opportunities in Energy Sector. The two-day summit was inaugurated by Mr. Sushil Kumar Shinde, Union Minister of Power. The summit was also addressed by other ministers from energy vertical, including Mr. Farooq Abdullah, Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Mr. Sri Prakash Jaiswal, Coal Minister, and Mr. Jaypal Reddy, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas. The two-day Congress looked at emerging opportunities across the sector in a holistic manner. Important issues related to developments in technology, impact on environment, competence and viability, public-private partnership, government policies, available means of funding were discussed and deliberated during this two-day Congress.
We represent 3,000 organizations in over 93 countries since 1923. I think those are the figures that you need to keep in mind. 1923, 3,093 countries. There is no other organization that can give you access to such a great depth and width of network. We are not biased with regards to technology, with regards to consuming or producing countries, with regards to industrialized or developing countries. We have an all-inclusive community which makes this such a rich place to exchange ideas.
There is a very important thing, since I am also the Vice Chair of the Asia and Asia Pacific. It covers 4.1 billion people. Out of that, 800 million people don't have access to electricity. And to understand the irony of this, more than 800 million people in the world today are on the Facebook. So we can just understand the huge dichotomy in the world between the people who have electricity, who do not have electricity, the economic development. In India, sir, 33% people do not have access to electricity, which you have been trying for the last couple of years to bridge this gap. So what is the way forward so that we can make an inclusive growth not only in India, but in Asia Pacific, and take these people who don't have access to energy along with us?
Two questions in the coming 2 decades which are going to be important is how we can increase availability of fuel, particularly coal in the domestic market, which is going to be a major fuel for us in the coming 2 decades, and how we can make it available at a very competitive rate in the domestic market so that the power which is generated from it is available to a large body of people at a competitive rate. This is going to be one major question. For the international community, the question is going to be that given the need for the developing countries, the assessment is that the next 2 decades will see major power generation coming up only in two major areas of India and China. If that is so, then how we can ensure that the fuel is available at a reasonable and at a competitive price. On the one hand, there is the question of climate change issues, carbon tax issues relating to reduction of carbon emission. On the other hand, there is this question of availability of fuel at a competitive rate to the developing world. This is a dilemma which will have to be resolved, and for that, as far as the developing countries like India is concerned, the Planning Commission we foresee that we will have to step up our domestic production and use it in an optimal manner.
In the next 5-year plan, that is between 2012 and 17, we expect to add about 75,000 megawatts, and in the 13th plan, it would be close to 100,000 megawatts. Now, an important thing to note here is that in these capacity additions, private sector would be playing a dominant role. More than 50% of the capacity in the 12th plan, the incremental capacity, will come from the private sector. Fuel has emerged as the most challenging aspect of our power sector development. the gap between the demand and supply of fuel, particularly coal, which is going to be the dominant fuel source for many years to come, is widening. We need to make efforts to ensure that this gap is bridged and bridged at the earliest. Now, I'm sure it will probably not be possible to escape imports, and imports are also growing. This will have implications for not only the tariff but also for our ability to handle the import of coal through port facilities, through railway network and so on. With the recent efforts that are being made by the government at different levels, I am quite sure that we will be able to overcome the challenge of fuel. Once that is done, I think there will be a very different signal to the sector. The present tepid sentiment would, I think, immediately improve.
When I joined, the capacity addition was 123,000 megawatt, and today it has gone more than 180,000 megawatt. The growth that we have achieved, it's not only the minister, but all my colleagues, those who have worked in the department. In the 10th plan, we had done capacity addition of 20,000 megawatt only. But today we have achieved the 2.5 times of the 10th plan. And as compared to 10th, 9th and 8th plan together, I think we'll be reaching exactly what we have achieved in these 3 plans, we'll be achieving in the 11th plan. The government has promised this nation that we'll give a cheaper power, sustainable power, and clean power. Yes, our direction is that way. When we thought that by 2012 we'll give power to all, the target was given to us 115,000. 102,000 villages we have completed. And we'll, by the end of this, we'll complete it.
Here we'll take a short break. There's a lot more on the other side. Keep watching Power News.